A UK-based NGO known as the Death Penalty Project said it played a role in helping Bertil Fox, Kemba Swanston, and Patrice Matthew being released from prison. All three men were clients of the Death Penalty Project, a legal action NGO based in the UK. A press release issued by the Death Penalty Project on Wednesday quoted Saul Lefrand, co-executive director of the organization. Mr. Lefrand said, "As lawyers, it is our role to ensure that all those we represent are afforded their statutory rights and that due process is upheld. All applications appealing the sentences of our clients follow standard judicial protocol, and in this case, the decision to release was fairly granted in accordance with the guidelines and procedures of St. Kitts and Nevis' Mercy Board. As an organization, we support efforts to ensure effective reviews of long-term sentenced prisoners and clearly defined for indeterminate sentenced prisoners from the prison estate." The Death Penalty Project said, under the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Governor-General is able to pardon a prisoner, reduce their sentence, or remit all or part of their punishment. This power vested in the Governor-General is called the prerogative of mercy. The law requires that the superintendent of the prison pass on details of prisoners to the minister who are eligible to be considered for release. Therefore, the final decision rests with the minister to bring attention to a case, the organization said. It continued that the Mercy Board is a committee made up of the designated minister, the Attorney General, and 3 or 4 other members appointed by the Governor-General, all who can advise the Governor-General, yet there is no obligation to adhere to such advice. The Mercy Board must consider a person for release under the following conditions: those who have served 10 years of their sentence prior to attaining the age of 60, or those who have served 15 years of their sentence. Additional considerations for a prisoner's release under the prerogative of mercy includes the mental and bodily condition of prisoners, as well as the effect of the imprisonment on their health, demeanor, and attitude towards crime in general. The failure to consider a person for release on these grounds amounts to a breach of their statutory rights, the Death Penalty Project said. The organization continued, all prisoners are eligible to be considered for release by the Mercy Board, and in the case of Mr. Matthew and Mr. Fox, an application was made to the High Court to review their sentences. The cases were ultimately referred to the Mercy Board, who granted their immediate release, and that of Mr. Swanston. At the time of the release, Mr. Fox had served 24 years, Mr. Swanson had served approximately 16 years, and Mr. Matthew had served approximately 20 years in prison. It is important to note, the organization said, that the Mercy Board regulates its own procedure and that there is no published guidance that the Mercy Board must adhere to when reaching their decision on the release of prisoners. The Mercy Board could have sought the views of the victims and their families. However, in this instance, it elected not to do so. Any decision to include the victim's family in the discussion was within the discretion of the Governor-General and does not obstruct the legal requirements of decision-making, the Death Penalty Project said in their release. The Death Penalty Project is a legal action NGO with a special consultative status before the United Nations Economic and Social Council. According to the release, it uses the law to protect prisoners facing execution and promote fair criminal justice systems where the rights of all people are respected. There was much controversy over the release of the men and the pardon granted to them on the recommendation of the Mercy Board. Mr. Fox, in particular, was pardoned for the murder of 2 women in 1997, and that decision has angered family members of the victims and the wider St. Kitts Nevis society. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
Strengthening the police force is a key aim of new Minister of National Security, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew. On 16th August, Prime Minister Drew spoke with members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. All ranks of the force were represented at the meeting, in which she also took the opportunity to thank all the members of the establishment.
In due course, I will make announcements about improvements in essential functions and structures, including conditions of work. But first, as Minister, I must take advice about the general situation and trends. Therefore, alongside my cabinet, I will be engaging with the top ministry officials and your high command. My friends, none of us is immune to mistakes and missteps. I know I will make my share as a human, but I navigate the uncharted waters of governance on our ship of state. However, it is my goal, and I ask that it be yours as well, to use our mistakes and missteps as opportunities for improvement in all that we do. I sincerely look forward to engaging all of you in the coming months and years so that we can share ideas and discuss ways and means of improving policing here in our Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I want to say thank you once again for agreeing to be police officers and to be public servants. With your help, I know we will transform St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force into a paragon of excellence and the envy of police forces throughout the region.
It was the first opportunity for the new Prime Minister to meet with law enforcement officers and to hear firsthand many of their pressing concerns. Glenn Batt reporting for SKN Newsline.
The SKN Newsline newscast is brought to you by Smart Electronics, the way to live a smart life, and Tiranga Restaurant for the finest in Indian cuisine. Excellent Indian cuisine, fine dining. It's Tiranga Restaurant at the Royal St. Kitts Plaza in Frigate Bay. Tiranga offers the authentic flavors of Indian cuisine in a warmly adorned 150-seat restaurant. Named after the tricolor flag of India, Tiranga comprises of traditional and regional-inspired Indian cuisine. The restaurant offers a sophisticated fine dining experience with a charming staff, discreet service, and tantalizing food that few can compete with. Call 662-5846 or visit tirangastkitts.com. Tiranga Restaurant, a taste of authentic India.
Smart and Island Electronics brings to you the Super Summer Coolum Sale from July 21st until October 30th. Get amazing discounts on the widest range of gadgets, electronics and appliances. But because it's summer, you get double discounts on hall fans, refrigerators and air conditioners. And don't forget to ask about our easy layaway plans. Good news for the people of Nevis. Smart Electronics is coming to Nevis at a convenient location just opposite Best Buy. So visit our stores at Smart Electronics on Port Zonte and Island Electronics on Ford Street. Terms and conditions apply. All COVID-19 protocols will be observed.
When visiting St. Martin, you want clean, affordable accommodations. You need Midtown Motel in the heart of Phillipsburg, a place where you can relax, take a stroll on Great Bay Beach, and that provides you easy access to great shopping. Midtown Motel, located on Front Street, Phillipsburg, St. Martin. Call Midtown Motel at 721-542-0614 and book your stay today.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
When you're looking to sell, buy, rent, or manage a property, your answer has to be Diamond Real Estate and Management St. Kitts, Dreams. They provide oversight of real estate and physical property in St. Kitts and Nevis, perform regular maintenance, utility payments, and safety checks to ensure your property is well kept. Dreams manages and optimizes your rental listing, recruits tenants, and much more. Looking to sell that parcel of land or property, or dreaming of owning your own? Trust Dreams under the leadership and experience of its CEO, Velma Merchant. Many can attest to her professionalism and customer service. Diamond Real Estate Management St. Kitts. Call 663-7326 or visit their office at 15 Shadwell Industrial Estate, making your real estate dreams come true.
St. Kitts and Nevis socio-political commentator Dwyer Astafan believes former Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris would have a short post-election political career. While commenting on the recently concluded general elections, Astafan said the resounding victory of the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party was a clear rejection of Dr. Harris and his leadership.
The thunderous victory for the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party was in some measure also due to the high level of disapproval, distrust and disgust of the voters towards Harris. Many of them cautiously and nervously concealed their disapproval, distrust, and disgust for fear of victimization. But they were wetting their hands and waiting for him, waiting for election day, so they could go behind the curtain and send him home. His conduct over the last 7 years contributed largely to the signing of his own political death warrant.
Astafan believes also that Harris' stint in the National Assembly would be curtailed.
And what I believe could speed up his exit is the prospect of having to go into Parliament to face the music in there, as well as the prospect of his stewardship as Prime Minister being put under the investigative microscope. Never again will you hear the boast, Harris again. Instead, what you're going to be hearing is, Harris never again.
The Harris-led People's Labour Party was part of a three-party political coalition, but partners PAM and CCM withdrew their support. Glenn Bard reporting for SKN Newsline.
The police are currently investigating a wounding with intent incident that occurred in Bostair on August 13th. Police responded to a report of a wounding on Saturday along Kyone Street in the vicinity of the Methodist Church. Investigations so far have revealed that Eric Williams of Buckley's estate received 3 lacerations, one to the right side of his jaw, one to his chin and one to his throat area with a sharp object by an assailant. Williams went to the J&F General Hospital where he was treated for his injuries. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. Persons with information about this incident are asked to contact the Criminal Investigation Department at the Bostair Police Station by dialing 465-2241, their nearest police station, or the crime hotline at 707. Meanwhile, resident pathologist, Dr. Nadia Phillip, performed an autopsy on the body of 26-year-old Louise Kendall James of Farm Site, Sandy Point on Monday, August 15th. Dr. Phillip concluded that death was as a result of hypovolemic shock due to a stab wound to the left suprascapular region. In another police report, 2 illegal firearms were taken into custody by the police following a search that was conducted on a fishing vessel in Dieppe Bay. During the search on Tuesday, 1 AK-47 rifle with a scope with 64 7.62mm rounds of ammunition, and 1 Taurus semi-automatic 9mm pistol with laser with 152 9mm rounds of ammunition were found. To date, 5 illegal firearms have been taken into police custody.
If you're looking for a place to host that special event, conference, meeting, social event, party, whatever the occasion, your best option is the Millhouse Convention Center in Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Located on the picturesque Garvey's Estate, the Millhouse Guest House Convention Center has enough space for outdoor events overlooking the Caribbean Sea. If you're looking indoors, the center is equipped with amenities needed to make your event a success. And by combining both spaces, you're sure to have a memorable event, no matter the occasion. Call the offices at Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center to book your next event on simply the most beautiful place in St. Kitts. Call 668-1392. Millhouse Convention Center at Garvey's Estate, Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Making your event memorable. It's the new and improved SKN Newsline Android mobile app. With the SKN Newsline app, you can watch your news reports, the SKN Newsline newscast, sports, special features, and so much more. You can also send us a WhatsApp or call us directly. Go in the Google Play Store, search SKN Newsline, and download the app today. The SKN Newsline mobile app. News on the go.
An open interactive event can be described as
tremendous, effective,
on par with any conference around the world.
From exhibitions to trade shows, corporate events to product launches, from press events to political functions. We are the secret sauce behind events that make you go, wow. We've staged multiple world-class events in the Caribbean and developed the skill to deliver quality in every detail, whether the event is live or fully virtual, or maybe even somewhere in between. At Open Interactive, we got your events covered. Get your free quotation today at www.madebyopen.com.
When visiting St. Martin, you want clean, affordable accommodations. You need Midtown Motel in the heart of Phillipsburg, a place where you can relax, take a stroll on Great Bay Beach, and that provides you easy access to great shopping. Midtown Motel, located on Front Street, Phillipsburg, St. Martin. Call Midtown Motel at 721-542-0614 and book your stay today.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
In an address to the people of Barbados, Prime Minister Mottley announced a cap on the cost of fuel to help ease the burden placed on motorists. She further reasons.
The world in which we live is extremely volatile, but as far as possible, we are going to protect and shield Barbadians from the majority of what they can otherwise face.
A move that's being lauded by Jamaica's opposition leader Mark Golding and long championed by his People's National Party members, among them economist and politician Dr. Andre Horton.
We've been calling for this for quite some time now. I think since 2018, 2019, we have been mentioning to the government that it is important to address the gas tax issue, and it has been falling on deaf ears. And now we are seeing that Jamaicans are facing increasing costs, not just at home, but businesses are facing increased costs. I mean, the government tried something the other day when they paid some amount of some person's light bills, and they are approaching it from the demand side, while MIA is approaching it from the supply side.
Dr. Horton says the only thing preventing Jamaica from following suit is the lack of political will. This, as he says, the budget makes allowances for such a move.
Yes, you can talk about budgetary constraints, but we have found the aptitude to basically do other types of policies. As I said before, the country embarked on the demand side policy the other day with JPS. And I think that if we approach it from the supply side through the gas tax, then that would ease the blow on a broader scale.
Jamaica has experienced consistent rise in fuel prices, compounded by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Javine McLean, CVM Live.
The THA's Division of Health reports 3 people died from COVID this week, making it the deadliest week for Tobago since late March this year.
In their weekly COVID-19 report, the division indicated 2 of those who died were fully vaccinated. The other was unvaccinated. There was no indication whether these latest victims had any underlying health conditions. The island's COVID-19 death toll now stands at 277. Tobago also reported 141 new COVID-19 cases this past week, marking a steady rise in cases over the last month. The island has officially recorded nearly 11,000 cases since March 2020, meaning approximately 20% of the island has tested positive for the disease at some point over the last 2 years.
With just 1 year in office, President Pedro Castillo is now facing 6 criminal inquiries, and the federal investigations are getting closer and closer to home. A sister-in-law suspected of awarding government contracts to friends turned herself in. A nephew suspect of receiving bribes is a fugitive. And one of Castillo's top allies, a former transport minister in charge of the government's largest budget, is nowhere to be found. Castillo says the media is trying to portray his family as corrupt. His defense lawyer has requested the judiciary stop the press from publishing any information regarding the president's case. Castillo says he's a victim of racism.
They are against this government because I come from the countryside. It's totally racist. I do not speak like them or sit at their opulent tables because I walk with the people.
70% of Peruvians now think he's guilty. Frustrated that nearly all former presidents are involved in corruption, Peruvians marched in support of the public prosecutor leading the probes. Castillo's allies say the investigations are politically motivated.
I firmly reject the claims and insinuations that the public prosecutor's office is part of an alleged political plan.
An opinion poll says 24% of Peruvians think he's innocent and continue to support the 52-year-old former rural teacher and farmer. Castillo says he's cooperating with prosecutors in each investigation, but every time he goes to testify before them, he asserts his right to remain silent and says not another word.
Ha tomado una decisión que es absolutamente
He has taken the absurd decision of not making his judicial situation clear. A politician cannot simply remain silent before a prosecutor. A politician must be accountable, transparent, and Castillo is the least transparent leader in our history.
Lo que le toca a un político es aclarar.
Castillo has survived 2 impeachment attempts, but now former allies are testifying against him. In the face of so many investigations, unprecedented for a sitting president, his days in office may be numbered. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Now, player of the game, Draylen Triplett, scored 23 points as the Storm beat the Rivers 109-105 on day 2 of the Elite One Caribbean Basketball Summer League at the National Arena in Kingston last night. Joel Bailey was actually the team's top scorer, putting in 26 points, while Isaiah Aris added 22. Rashid Maynard was the player of the game in Game 1 on Sunday, as he scored 16 points to go along with 15 from Nikolai Brown and 14 points and 4 rebounds from Anton Ivey as Horizon beat Waves 76-61. Both teams also won on the opening day of the league on Saturday. President of the Jamaica Basketball Association, Paulton Gordon, is hoping the league will allow players to announce themselves to scouts from various leagues overseas.
There are numerous opportunities for jobs, not necessarily only the USA. Australia, parts of Asia, parts of Europe. So if we can create that platform for them, then the opportunities will be there for them to have contracts overseas.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boole. Here is a look at the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.